Welcome back. It's just gone 3 after 12 o'clock, the second hour of the mid morning talk show with me, Julie Ali, and we cross over now to the Western Cape. We are joined by Mahbobah Bobbie Jacobs, and she is the South African Fund Development Manager for Food Forward. Assalamu alaikum to you, Bobby. Welcome to the program. Nice to be talking with you.
Wa alaikum salam, Judy. Thank you for having me on your show.
Okay, so for those who may not be familiar, I'm not familiar either. Can you give us an overview of Food Forward South Africa and the work you do to combat hunger in South Africa?
Absolutely, my pleasure. So, Food Forward South Africa is a food bank, a registered food bank, the only registered food bank in South Africa and the largest food bank in
Wow.
Africa. We basically recover surplus food from within the food system, so from farmers, from agri-processors, from manufacturers, from retailers, and then we take those food into our warehouses, we sort them, we repurpose it, and our food then goes out to our network of 2,500 beneficiary organizations across South Africa, and currently we are feeding just under 1 million people a day.
Sure, that sounds like an absolutely massive operation. How long have you been in operation?
So Food Forward South Africa has been around since 2009. So we've been doing this for about 15, almost 16 years now. We have warehouses in 5 of the provinces. And then aside from the warehouses, we also have what we call our mobile rural depots. So there are 34 routes from the warehouses that trucks food on a monthly basis into rural areas in Mpumalanga, the Northwest Province, Eastern Cape, Northern Cape.
I assume you are an NPO or an NGO, more than likely an NPO. So, how are you funded?
So we are both an NPO and a PBO, a registered public benefit organization, and all our funds are raised both internationally and externally. So yeah, we fundraise to make all the operations work, and we depend on the kindness of South African citizens, their generosity, the kindness and generosity of our corporate partners, and of our sort of bulk food donors who, within the manufacturing, retail space, etc., partner with us to make sure that their surplus food is available for us to redistribute.
Alhamdulillah. So it's nice to hear that surplus food is going to a very, very meaningful cause. I kind of often wonder about surplus. Oftentimes you hear about in the past, I hope it's still not happening. Farmers used to dump surplus citrus fruit and other food stuff. And it used to absolutely distress me to think, how can you be dumping all of that food when there are millions of people, hundreds of millions of people all around the world going hungry? And it's very encouraging to hear that there are organizations like yourself that are taking on the surplus and putting it to the benefit of the neediest of the needy. I'm also wondering, we've heard about the rantings of um, Donald Trump and the cuts in US aids, etc. Does that have an impact on your organization?
So, two things, Julie. So, just to say that even with the work we do and with the work that organizations similar to us do, there's still about 10 million tons of food every year in South Africa that does go to waste. There is still 10 million tons of food in our country, and it should outrage people. Um, and more people
How
should be
come?
pressuring.
The
So
important question is,
there's
why is this
several there's
why is this
several
allowed to
reasons.
happen?
So there's several reasons. So for farmers, it is probably more expensive to try and get their out of spec or surplus product to a secondary market than it is for them to just plow it back into field.
Sure.
For agri processors, out of spec or out of production. So sometimes, the retailers have incredibly high standards for production, and sometimes a skew label, missing ding, misspelt words, just the smallest thing could result in a batch of perfectly edible, perfectly healthy food being taken out of circulation and being moved. And so we try and contact those people to let them know that we are available with our service to kind of remove that surplus from them. But there is, of course, also a risk to bulk food manufacturers. If food is not handled properly or safely and it ends up in potentially spaza shops or places where they cannot be um, handled or stored safely, then it does become a danger and a liability to those food manufacturers.
Yeah, sadly, we've heard all of the deaths of children
Exactly.
having been killed, having consumed contaminated foodstuff, whatever it might be. So I hear the concern, and I guess we need to be cognizant of that as well. What impact has your organization had over the past year in terms of meals served or food distributed? And of course, your success stories over the years.
So, I mean, we've been very lucky. We have some um, we have some very dedicated food partners who continue to support us throughout the year, and we're very grateful for their support. And so we have a beneficiary organization which is currently sitting on about just over 2,500 CBOs, community based organizations. The network consists of soup kitchens, community kitchens, ECDs, old age homes, orphanages, shelters, just a range of organizations that feed people on a daily basis, and they are vetted through our process. They have to be a registered NGO, and they have to adhere to sort of strict standards in terms of being able to safely receive, store, and cook our food. And then they also receive ad hoc inspections to ensure that the food is actually being used for its intended purpose. And so, because of that, we know the exact numbers of people that are being fed every single day through our network. And that enables us to track quite accurately, you know, the number of meals. So at the moment, we're sitting on just under a million, so about around about 935,000 and some odd people that are fed on a daily basis from the food that we provide into our beneficiary organization network. We try and keep our costs very low. We try and run a very efficient organization, and at the present moment, we are able to produce meals for 50 cents. So, based on the
Wow.
donated food supplied to us, as well as the use of our own internal supply chain, our own fleet and warehouses, we are able to provide meals to people at 50 cents per meal.
It sounds like you have a very unique business model. Was it through trial and error that you got here, or did you
Um,
happen upon this almost at the beginning of the start of obviously the Food Forward South Africa organization?
So right from the start, the food banking model was there. And so because we're registered with an international organization, the Global Food Banking Network, um, this model is replicated in food banks across the world. Um, some of them not as efficient as ours, depending on their surpluses and the amount of people they need to feed or deal with. But yes, the food banking model is not unique per se, but we have tried to make it as efficient as possible, and we have tried to increase our reach because we realize that within our particular country, the need is incredibly great, and we're trying to reach as many people as possible.
Do you have branches throughout the country? And I'm just thinking there are a lot of people who would be very happy to work at your organization on a voluntary basis. So, how do they get involved then?
So there are a few ways people can get involved. We have 5 warehouses across the country. So we have a warehouse Cape Town, Johannesburg, Durban, then smaller ones in PE, the Free State, um, and I feel like I'm missing one, but yeah. And then our MRDs, which is our mobile rural depots, which go out into the provinces where we don't have a physical presence, but we still service beneficiary organizations in those provinces. And then we run a corporate, or we run a volunteer program, some of it for our corporates, but also on-site volunteering. So the three main warehouses in Joburg, Cape Town, KZN, and PE take volunteers. It's only a 2-hour session, and it runs from February to November every year. People can just go online, click on volunteer here, complete the form, and be able to register their interest in participating in our volunteer program, and our volunteer coordinator will then get back to them with availability, time slots, etc. We also encourage corporate engagement, and we encourage corporate teams who donate to us to also come and volunteer for sessions at our warehouses, or we can arrange on-site volunteering for them. So we will send the food and the boxes to their site, to their work site, if staff can't leave, and arrange a packing event for them at their site. And we do all of this, for donations essentially.
Okay, it is 12:14. Let's go for an ad break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about Mandela Day and your involvement as Food Forward South Africa regarding this big event.
Thank you.
Penny Appeal's Education First campaign helps children to get access to quality education.
I'm 14 years old. When I grow up, I'd like to be a scientist.
We believe every child belongs at school,
And we want education.
learning and dreaming their way to a better future. With your help, we can provide classrooms, desks, stationery packs, and school shoes. Help make these dreams a reality. Visit www.pennyappeal.org.za or call 031 1100 573. Penny Appeal. Small change, big difference.
Shimmer, sparkle, captivate. Nothing less than a masterpiece. Droplets of gold inspires precious design. Platinum bursts with intricate freshness, and every pure diamond becomes more than just a girl's best friend. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, where timeless dreams become a reality. Come to us. We tailor-make designer gold, platinum, and diamond jewelry. Trade in or remodel your old gold. Clad yourself with classy name-branded watches. We offer insurance valuation and freezer card calculation. Visit us at 534 Ridge Road, Overport, or call 031 208 9142. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, manufacturers of fine gold and diamond jewelry.
Valley's Motor Spares. We supply motor spares and accessories for all makes and models of motor cars, LDVs, bakkies, trucks, and earth-moving equipment. We deliver on time, every time. Please contact us via WhatsApp on 014-592-0925 or call 014-592-0925 or visit 28 Zenderling Street, Rustenburg. Remember the name, Valley's Motor Spares.
You South African, of course. You anxious about the future. We've got you covered. Build on your wealth portfolio with Randry Jewelers Gold Coin Exchange. Visit us at 151 Stephen Dlamini Road, Musgrave, Durban, or call us on 031-202-4700 for more information. Randry Jewelers Gold Coin Exchange, your passport to gold investment.
Dad, these Frymax chips are so tasty.
Wow, that really takes me back. My dad bought me a Frymax chips every day after school. They were my favorite when I was your age as well. Quality is at the very heart of what we do, and that's why we ensure that every Frymax packet is filled with the beautiful goodness and flavor-packed taste that you've come to expect from us since 1982. Frymax, from generation to generation.
Salam Media, a global voice for humanity.
17 after 12, we're talking with Mahbobah Bobbie Jacobs, based in the Western Cape. She is a South African Fund Development Manager for Food Forward South Africa. Lots of hype, Bobbie, regarding the upcoming big event, or rather the big day, Mandela Day. And I think corporates and the entire country is caught up in Mandela Day and making a difference there, 67 minutes of whatever. So it is a time to reflect and to act. Pardon. What is Food Forward South Africa planning for Mandela Day this year, and how does it align with Mandela's legacy?
Thank you, Julie. So our Mandela Day event is always very exciting for us every single year. It's been growing steadily. And so this year we're hosting 3 packing events, one in Cape Town, one in Joburg, one in Durban. We used to host these events at our warehouse, but demand has been such that we've outgrown the space in our warehouse, and we have been kindly donated spaces. In Cape Town, we are hosting our packing event at the Century City Conference Centre. In Durban, we are hosting it at the Durban ICC, and in Johannesburg, we are hosting it at the Johannesburg Expo Centre, Nasrec. And so the packing event essentially involves we bring food from our warehouses, bulk food, pallets of food, and people spend their 67 minutes. We have 3 time slots, and we encourage people to go online to web tickets and register and book their ticket. It's a 67 Rand donation for your 67 minutes. Join us at either 9:30 or 11:30 or 1:30 at any of our venues. You have to just bring your ticket along, but then we have very exciting packing events, so people then are unwrapping the bulk foods, defacing them, packing them into storage bins, storage containers, etc. These will then be returned to our warehouse and distributed to our beneficiary organizations.
Are there any special corporates or partners on this Mandela Day partnering with your organization?
Absolutely. So we are very, very grateful to our corporate sponsors. Our big sponsors this year are Pick n Pay, who have very generously donated and whose staff always volunteer for our organization. We also have Group M, Coronation, American Tower, Bid Travel, the Foschini Group, TFG, Nedbank, Quantum Foods, Compendium Insurance, Baldwin Properties, CHEP, who is a long-standing partner of ours, Boston Scientific. So we're very, very grateful. Smollen. So we're very, very grateful to all the corporates who support our mission, who support our vision, and who come out and support Mandela Day every single year.
And those are all big names in business, undoubtedly. So really pleased to hear that. So for Mandela Day, what are some of the key priorities or goals that you as Food Forward South Africa is working toward in the second half of 2025? Because it seems as if a lot of effort, not only with Food Forward South Africa, but all corporates and the whole of South Africa, we focused on this very special day and the special event, but post this event, the rest of the year.
Sure. So, I mean, with this particular event, we hope to pack 500 tons of food, which should equate to 2 million meals. Sure. And then for the second half of the year, aside from growing our network and hoping to sort of grow our reach and find more people in need who can benefit from the service we provide, we also have a few special programs that we run within FoodForward-SA, and we're hoping to expand that. So one of the programs we run is our Sustainable Food Gardens program called Food Gardens Connect. We're currently piloting 9 gardens in the Western Cape. They're based with our beneficiary organizations in communities. We supply all the inputs, so we supply the seedlings, we provide training, compost tools, and then we ask 3 or 4 unemployed individuals who receive the training to look after the gardens, look after and manage the plantings within the gardens, usually vegetables. And then at the end of each harvest season, they can either choose to use the produce and use it for themselves or in their community, or as Food Forward SA, we offer a guaranteed buyback. So we encourage them, and it's an income generation opportunity that they will basically they'll bring the produce into us. We'll weigh, we'll measure, and we'll pay them for the very lovely organic vegetables that they've grown in their own urban gardens. The second program we're very focused on expanding in the second half of the year is our Mother and Child program. So our Mother and Child program focuses on malnutrition and stunting in children under the age of 5 and providing high protein meal boxes to mothers and children who have been identified by their local clinic, by the Department of Health, as being malnourished and or in danger of stunting.
Great stuff. Let's wrap up then. How can the public get involved with your organization and make a meaningful difference, not only on Mandela Day, but going forward, and probably become lifetime volunteers?
So we highly encourage that. We love people to support our cause, to work with us so that we can reduce malnutrition and food insecurity within South Africa. We encourage people, please go to our website, follow our events, subscribe to our newsletter, and donate. Please, no amount is too small. A meal costs as little as 50 cents. So by all means, we also encourage people to do food drives. There's a list of high protein items on our website that we encourage people, whether it be schools, corporates, families, collect these items, and we can arrange for them to be dropped off at one of our warehouses or collected if you're not close by. So yes, please, by all means, support our cause and let's help us all to reduce food insecurity and malnutrition in South Africa. Thank you.
Bobbie Jacobs, thank you indeed. Keep up the amazing work, much needed type of relief work in our country. So Allah bless you and accept all of your efforts. Go well and salamu alaikum to you.
Wa alaikum salam, Julie. Thank you so much.
It is exactly 12:24. We're going to be wrapping up with our final interview this morning, rather this afternoon. We started in the morning and we're into the afternoon. We'll be talking with Shuaib Hussein, the treatment manager at the Sultan Bahu Drug Rehab Center. Very important discussion. Sadly, this has become endemic not only in South Africa but globally. So stay tuned and become aware of what's going down in our immediate vicinities.